Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out today on Wednesday, so the holiday sales are still popping off. Let's just jump right into it. Right here is going to be War Machine. This is going to be a Legends book right here. This has like a little bit of extra expansion stuff. This is like an old school one. This is not like the typical one that I remember selling, so I had to read the back when I was at the storage unit. But yeah, War Machine, there's a new one out. I did figure out if the old figures are usable with the new stuff, and they are. Hordes doesn't exist anymore, but they kind of tried to incorporate some of the Horde stuff into the new War Machine. This is not the new book. I just looked it up finally yesterday. So this ended up going for $5 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. Yeah, someone's just going to use that to see maybe different characters, and maybe it's like a gift for someone. Oh, there's also lore in there, so people are going to read up on like the world, and I think that's important for people. All right, next up is going to be a lot of two of these. These are Napoleonics, no, Battle of Waterloo miniatures. I got a bunch of miniatures in this big bag. The whole thing's almost sold at this point. It was sitting near my listing station for a while, and eventually I had to like dump them out and clean it off, all the dust, hairs and stuff. I had to get the dollar store whiteboard to like, dump out all the stuff and organize it, but they've been selling. These are partially painted. They're decent painting for like what they are. These end up going for $36 as a combo order, so someone picked up 2 lots of 18 each. All right, moving along, we have Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition Forgotten Realms Dungeon Hack. This is going to be like a computer game or a PC game. This is just a manual. I've never played this one, but just the art here looks pretty cool on the little booklet and manual. People like to, complete their box set with their game and then the manual, or maybe someone just likes reading this. This ended up going for $10. Sometimes I'll just read random like catalogs, magazines, and stuff like that. All right, so someone might do that as well. It might not be like completing a collection. Next up is going to be this, I think it's like, is it Mark's? Yeah, Mark's Black Steam Engine, like a lid for it or something, like a part. I don't know if they can like work this up or redo it or refurbish it, but we got a bunch of this train stuff a few years ago, and then I got like a big thing of train stuff in an auction, and then I listed a bunch of them. Some of the big trains actually sold for like 100 or 200. Like this stuff can be really expensive. So like the good stuff, the vintage stuff that people want to use for their train sets that they do in like their basements and stuff. But yeah, this is just like a piece. So this is going to go for $7.87. There's also like a broken one I remember selling a year or two ago, and someone did feedback and they said that they fixed it up. So that was pretty wholesome to be like, oh, okay, cool. I sold something to someone for cheap and they were able to fix it up and they were using it for their train station setup. Next up is going to be, these are going to be blue, red, and not yellow, blue, red, and white. These are Monster Apocalypse, the collectible game, not the version that is out now, which you have to build the miniatures and paint them. These were like little booster packs you would buy. They would have different rarities. You get like a big kaiju monster and you get a bunch of little units and you play on like a paper gridded map. These are the dice that you roll. This is what would come in a starter set. I actually got a huge bag of these dice, like a big bag of them. I could probably make like 10 to 20 starter sets. So every time I sell one of these sets, I just relist it. I count them up. Obviously, I want it to be the same number, red, white, and blue dice, and then I relist it. So that's what I did at the storage unit. $9.99. This is going to repeat buyer. That's a pretty cool game. I remember playing it a little bit when it came out. I got like a starter set, a bunch of booster packs. I got some promos because I was at a convention, so I got some like promo figures and the promo buildings. All right. We have this Tarot Major Arcana deck right here. People like to get different various tarot decks and just tarot cards and stuff. It's a big world that people are really into. They like doing all like, the hand reading and the card reading. They like practicing, they collecting the cards. Sometimes they don't even have to like do the reading. I have a tarot deck somewhere, and then I got me like a cool one with like cool animal arts and stuff. So I just like read it one time just for fun. This ended up going for $13.35. I think Anetta told me that there is some like it's like voodoo, not voodoo, like hoodoo or something about some people like them being sealed, where if it's opened up, some people won't buy used ones. So you kind of have to be descriptive if it's like not sealed. So show them if it's open and stuff, because some people only like to use, I think, fresh decks. I think she told me something like that a couple years ago. She confirmed, yeah. So really interesting world. I like stuff like that. All right. Next up is going to be a trading card game playmat. This is going to be for Magic the Gathering. This is Star City Games. I don't know if they're still around. I've been away from Magic for about 6 years now. That's basically forever. There's probably been like 40 sets and a bunch of ancillary products. This is going to be, they had these open series where you go to a tournament. I don't think I ever went to a Star Cities one. I think sometimes, and then they would have these play mats where they would do animal art. So this is Goblin Rabble Master as a card, but it's a bunch of bunnies instead of swords and goblins. It's bunnies, rabbits with carrots. So I never was a big fan of the animal playmats and stuff. I know a lot of people like them. It was like a cool thing for people to collect. This sold for $8.40. I generally sell playmats for like $8 to $20, unless if you get like a signed one. That's kind of where the price lies, or unless if you get one that you have to win a specific tournament. But then it's kind of like stolen valor if you're buying a playmat that someone else earned, unless if the art's cool and you really want it to. Like basically, the extra price is only when it's like rare or signed. But yeah, $8.40. Someone's going to appreciate that. They're probably going to use it for Magic the Gathering. They're probably going to use it for a Goblin deck because those bunnies mimic a card called Goblin Rabble Master. All right, next up is going to be, we used to sell a bunch of these specific Dowdle puzzles. We got a Michigan State Spartans right here. This is going to be a puzzle. We used to get a ton of these, and they did really well for us. We were just around thrift stores at the time where they were always like quarter, 50 cents, or $1. It must have been some kind of like donation or something from maybe a retail store that had like dumped them over to like the thrift store. So we used to sell it like first few months of us, a lot of money came from puzzles. This one for $11. And what'd you say? Oh yeah. It was popular when people were inside from COVID. That's why a lot of people were doing puzzles. $11.06. I mean, it's still pretty popular during the holidays, which is it's now. People like to do them because they're indoors. So while people are like, if they're into the war gaming, they're painting their miniatures, they're buying the bases from us. If you're someone that just likes puzzles, obviously this is a better time to stay inside and do puzzles. So there's a lot of readings going to be more popular and stuff like that. Board games gets more popular because you also have family gatherings, holiday gatherings. So they are good social tools to use to get people to like talk and not just be like, oh, how's the weather? It's snowing outside. All right. Next up is minifigs Napoleonics. This is going to be a set right here. Normally it tells you up here underneath like the title. It'll let you know what figures are inside. This one was just like a blank. There's nothing there. So I didn't know what to label these. It looks like there's some cavalry. I took good pictures. So whoever bought it probably knows like what they are, like what particular like infantry or cavalry squad it is. This sold for $15. We do pretty well with the miniatures, so people are appreciating them. All right, next up is Europa Mauritia. I don't know how to say it. It's the board game series. It's really expensive. There's like, I want to say 21 or so, maybe 28 different games. You could play them kind of in order if you want. They're really complicated. A lot of people like them. They're vintage, so it's hard to find. They have a lot of pieces, so that all the pieces get lost all the time. So this is a singular sheet from one of them. Literally, this is one sheet. Some of these board games, you open them up, and they'll have like 20, 30, 40 of these shit token sheets. This sold to a repeat buyer for $15. This is one part. So like, yeah, if you can find those Europa games, they are expensive. People do like them. All right. Next up is going to be a Mage Knight. I think it's from 2.0. Mage Knight had like, you know, their first edition, then they did a second edition. Second edition, they had like these little slots where you can put cardboard, or they were kind of like laminated cardboard cutouts of weapons, spells, relics that you can attach to your characters for extra points. So they also, I think they added like cavalry and stuff like that. Where did I put that figure? Oh, here it is. This one, I listed a bunch single or as singles. Normally I do lots for like Mage Knight and Mech Warrior and stuff like that. I wanted to give a try to selling them within the singles. This is a rare, and then the rarity will show you on the base. I also looked it up. Oracle of Rokos right here. It's a cool lady, and she has like a spell book that she's like floating in an air with magic. I sold this particular single before, so this must be like a good figure for someone to use, or maybe they just like how it looks. $6.99 for an individual figure is fantastic. All right. Next up is going to be one of probably our most expensive item that we sold for the day. This is going to be Q Workshop right here. You probably can't see them. They are metal dice. It is a set. Q Workshop would do these intricate designs on their dice. They were kind of known. They did a lot of like plastic or resin or whatever ones, but they also did some metal ones. This is a specific set called like Cthulhu Sunken Sea set. So like metal dice in particular sets can get pretty expensive. This is a vintage one. This sold for $62.99. It is going international. People will pay up for certain sets of dice, even the individual ones. This is a set for essentially a role-playing game. When people say that like a set of dice, it's for like a role-playing game. It's enough for all your characters. If you make a wizard, you're good. If you make a cleric, you're good. If you make a rogue, you're good. All right, next up is going to be a combo order. It's going to be bags of chit tokens for a different game. I forgot what board game it says. Bags of Over There. Is that what the game was called? Maybe I missed a typo. All right. So yeah, chit tokens right here for a board game called Over There. I don't remember too much. I guess it does say Over There. I must have looked into it at the time. Bunch of these. Plus they also picked up like a little sheet of cutouts for, it's this one right here, December 8th, 1941. Like little, sorry, not 1941. There was a little cutout sheet that came right there. And then there's these cutout little tokens as well. Someone can cut them out. It's like slightly better than janky paper, but not as good as those that are chit tokens. So this sold for $39. I don't know why I put these two together. Maybe when I looked into it at the time that they were supposed to go together, but I get like bits and pieces all the time. All right, 39 bucks for that. Moving along, we have some really cool painted, these are like metal airplane figures. I don't get them too much. I actually did a video when I got like a box of miniatures. I probably did the video like a year ago at this point. I don't even know when. Time's kind of been flying by. Really cool, and they have like, they're magnetized on the bottom so they can actually stick onto things that are magnetic. So yeah, 14 of them, super cool quality. I knew someone would pick them up. 16 bucks to repeat buyer. Just took a little bit. I had to find the right buyer for that one. All right, moving along, we have Warhammer 40K 2001, so vintage. These are going to be Necron green rods. They're all still on the little screws. The Necrons are like these like Terminator, like skeletal type of guys, and then they have like these guns that they hold out, and then the old vintage figures, you put these green rods into like the gun and you can like paint them up, or you can just keep them as like a green glowy bit. They don't do that anymore, I believe, for Necron. So sometimes people like pick up the old green rods. So yeah, this ended up going for $18.19. It's 17 of them for the number of them. So basically like $1 a piece for them, which is pretty good. They were part of that big bulk box of bits I got. I did over like 150 listings. You can see right here, I guess, I don't know if you can see, but I wrote 154. That's just how I number them. So I don't have to be like, oh, which baggie has like these specific 80 pieces. I just have the number. I wrote down the number. All right. Moving along, we have a Star Wars Finest card. I completely forgot I got these. I think I only sold a couple of them. So I did ask up for them. They're like these really holographic Star Wars cards. They look like good quality. Where did I put it? I know I put it somewhere. Sorry, I'm like a little unorganized. Oh, it's right here on the top. This is going to be, what character? I only watched Star Wars once. Ula right here. But yeah, you can tell like they're all holographic. I had another one, so I relisted it when I was there. This is number 77. I think this is just like a base card for this. But yeah, I got a bunch of these cards. This one ended up going for $8. I had it listed for higher. They sent a message that they sent $8 because they were like, oh, that's kind of like the comps that they were seeing. I was like, sure, whatever, that's fine. I normally kind of like have my own idea what I want for stuff, but yeah, this one ended up for $8. And I also saw that I had a note that I had another one. I think I have another two. So I was like, okay, whatever, it's fine. I'll sell more of them and get like a grander total price when they all sell. If that makes sense. Next up is going to be some Sailor Moon doll. This is going to be Sailor Jupiter. I think she's more hipster, but people still like her probably as much as Sailor Moon herself. These were like, when I first saw this, I thought this was like a knockoff because I remember that I got them at like a thrift store early on, really early on, probably our first year of shopping for stuff for eBay. And then she's like, no, you can look it up. And I looked it up and they do sell pretty well. So this one is a legit one by Bandai up here. It just looked a little janky to me. But this one ended up selling for $31.50. It also has her like little scepter toy that they use a lot of. Girls are getting like dolls for holiday gifts. I know my family's getting like all their nieces like different various types of plushies and dolls. That's just popular right now, or maybe it's always popular, but I noticed like we've been selling more plushies and we don't have many dolls, barely any, maybe like 20 or less various types of dolls. That's one of them. All right, next up is going to be a board game promo pack. It's called Mamma Mia. It's been a while since I always think of the song. I play the song in my head from the musical for this board game. I think it's like a cooking board game. Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to take a guess here. And this is like a little promo pack. It adds some more cards to the game. I've never played it. I can't picture the box, but at some point I remember seeing the box a lot at different board game stores. Cooking's not like my aesthetic theme for a board game, but I know actually a good amount of people like it. Like it is still popular. Just because it's not my aesthetic doesn't mean it's not someone else's. $21 for this, going international. They probably did not have access to this wherever it's going to. So it feels good. I get to complete someone's like board game and they get to get more enjoyment out of it. All right. Next up is a music CD. Normally, I don't know the music CDs. This is just Charlie Brown Christmas. I do know that. I've seen it. Used to, had a lot of teachers when I was younger play the movie when it was like, you know, around the holidays and stuff. So yeah, still good condition. This ended up going for $5. Someone's going to appreciate the classic Charlie Brown songs. They're probably going to listen to it themselves or use it for like a holiday gathering. All right, moving along, we have a book, hardcover, The Tenets of Time right here. Big chunky one, hardcover. I'm not too sure what this one's about. There's not like a description on the back. It's probably in the front here. But yeah, this ended up going for $7.87. If I had to take a guess, this was next to all of like these other military historical books that I listed in the past. So I'm assuming it's probably within that realm. All right, last up for the day is the combo order. This is going to be 11 General Avalon Hill magazines. I sold one individual one yesterday. These ones don't have any games or inserts. So this is like a set of 6 and this one's a set of 5. They got a combo order. It's all various numbers. It's literally random. This is like one's volume 16, number 2, volume 25, number 6. So just a bunch of them. They end up doing $27.04 for all 11 of these magazines. People do like to read them and appreciate them and enjoy them. They obviously sell for more when they come with the inserts, the games, the tokens, the promos. All right, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at our links down below. Have a good one.